The only inevitability in life is death, so why are we even trying? Hello, welcome back everybody to the Anime Club podcast. My name is Nick Knack. With me is Realm Shifter.
Well, you see, there's another plane of existence that you can ascend to that allows you to... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain this all. You won't understand it anyways. Alright, so, I'm just going to go back to my plane of waifus unless we're going to actually start the review.
With me, and hopefully a little bit less done with the retakes, is Lord Vorn.
Yay, fourth time's charm. And I've already seen the plane of death. It's kind of meh, unless you really get into it, and then go to the next plane.
What's even going on with me here as well is Seki.
Pizza's worth living for. Just a comment. Pizza. Pizza's sexy.
I mean, if you're not if we're talking, what? Domino's?
You've not even seen what's
I
in the other
I
planes.
can't scream out my normal Domino's insult. I can't.
We shall reveal that another time. All right,
I don't
everyone.
think
This week
ever.
we watched my teen romantic comedy SNAFU episodes 1 through 13. So spoiler alert for all of those.
And
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the episode, most of us will just be calling it SNAFU.
Yes, because light novel names suck.
I mean, I'm sure it sounds better in the original Japanese, but what a snafu.
I think that's actually a term.
That is
It
a
is.
That is a
Yeah.
term.
It's like a military term.
Well,
I'm gonna look it up.
We'll figure that
Pan
out
back
later.
to me in a second.
So, for now, let's move on to our favorite section, the Waifu Wars. Waifu Wars. Waifu Wars. Waifu Wars. All right, everybody, let's go in the circle. My favorite waifu was T.H.E. T.H.E. is best waifu. Moving on, Realm, what was your favorite waifu?
You know, if I were into traps, I'd have to be Team T.H.E. But I'm not. So, I go with Team Pink-Haired Girl.
Really? You don't
Yeah.
even remember.
Pinky.
Yes.
Just call her Pinky.
Pinky.
Great.
We'll figure that out as we get into the episodes, I'm sure. Vorn, if you
Um,
remember her name, feel free to give it out to us.
Mine was the club president, Yokin. Yeah, sorry, I'm very much having trouble saying her name right now, but it's Yokinoshida. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that right.
Yukinoshita.
Okay, there.
Yuki no Shina.
Nick, that got it for me.
You
All right,
was
Seki,
the name
your
of
turn.
Of my waifu.
I've been told that I can't repeat my joke from the first episode, and therefore I have to pick a waifu, and so I'm gonna go with the trap.
I mean,
Saika.
that's Saika T.H.E.
But also, since we're panning back to me right now, SNAFU stands for Situation Normal All Fouled Up. I use fouled because I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
Well, we're not making money yet anyways, so...
I know, but
Algorithm.
practice.
All right, guys. Well, while we're here, let's start. Want to give our general thoughts here. I'll let Seki go first, since she probably has the most colorful thoughts out of all of us.
Well, first of all, it's better than Dead Alive, but barely. This is not something I would recommend to anyone. I did not enjoy it. I did not appreciate it. I don't see the artistry behind it. I don't see the story behind it. But that's just my opinion, and I can be wrong.
This cup is full of your salty tears.
Salty tears? It's full of my salty spit, because I'm spitting salt at it.
All right. Well, I think very much disagreeing with Seki here. Vorn, what did you think?
This is actually an anime I very much like, but here's the thing. For season 1, for me, it's more just a starter, and the one that I like the most is actually season 2, because
fight,
the more
fight.
you just see the main character's ideology in that season actually a bit more, and I'm not going to go into any more because spoilers. Now then, Realm, how was it for you?
I thought it was pretty alright. It's a great comedy. However, it's it falls into the trap of not really being terribly memorable, in my opinion. Take, for example, other comedies within the genre, like Konosuba. They stand out more because of the great voice acting of the characters. Characters have decently memorable designs at that, and just it within its own space. While it's above like the most like general slice of life show that you could think of, it's not far behind them overall, I'd say.
My thoughts are very much similar to Realms. I actually specifically enjoyed the cynical brand of humor, and I got more than a few meme screenshots out of it. But I also felt that the story as a whole was very generic. It hits a lot of the same story beats a lot of other slice of life's hit, right down to the very end with, and we'll get into it later, but it goes like the cultural festival is such a common thing in slice of life's and even non-slice of life's, and a lot of the drama felt very repetitious.
I just didn't like the premise. I just thought it was stupid.
It's a slice of life with a cynical character.
I know. You know I don't like slice of life. We've discussed this at length. I don't like slice of life. And this was like the worst of slice of life. At least Data Live was slice of life and harem.
At least Data Live had a few action scenes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go into.
Although, you know what? The 10-minute argument with Realm Shifter over whether or not the trap was a boy or a girl. That was amusing.
We
All
already
right.
know what the trap is. Now then, let's go into episode 1 of what is actually the correct English name for the series, which is Youth Romantic Comedy is Wrong, as I expected, where we get introduced to
Yui Gahana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so we actually get to see our MC, we get to know him a little bit, we get to see his outlook at life, and then we get introduced to our main character,
Yukino Shida?
yeah, the first woman of this, series.
And there he goes making it sound like a harem. This is not a harem.
This isn't, though,
It's
it's
not.
It's not.
But we do actually get to see multiple women, side characters in this.
But they're not the main characters.
Yeah.
I mean, we also, I guess we should first touch on, like, the most important part of Hiki. That boy, Edgy.
Too edgy.
Hey, but
The
at least
Edge
he's
Lord.
realistic.
Okay, he's realistic edgy, and the series knows him being edgy isn't a positive. It's a absolute negative, and it knows that it takes all the piss out of him.
Yeah. But haven't we all felt at least somewhat like that?
I mean, I don't know about you, but personally, I go through every day like I have sunshine shining out of my butt. And I am never cynical and never rude, and I am never unhappy.
Okay, let's be real. Hiki's personality in outward way is what we all think in the inward way.
Yes.
Like our
I've
whole...
got Seki's sunshine on the outside, but the dark brooding of Batman on the inside.
Isn't that always the mask that we always been on for everybody?
It depends.
And thus is the point of the series.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
enough cynicism.
Yeah, let's get
You can
back
never
on
have enough
to the
cynicism
review.
with this series.
Okay, but isn't that why I don't like it? Because I feel attacked by it? This personally attacks me. I don't like it.
That's actually kind of why I like it. It actually reveals the mask of literally everybody.
Maybe I don't want
I mean, the
mask
entire
taken
point of the
away.
series is Hiki looking at people being like, they so fake.
Fair.
They a bunch of fakes.
Very fair.
Okay, come on. Let's go back to reviewing.
Yes.
So now then, what are you guys' thoughts on this first episode?
It was okay.
It didn't do-
It introduced the main character well enough, I think.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything to like pull me in or get me interested.
Yeah,
Just
I'd say
seemed-
that is a bit of the fault of this series. It doesn't really pull you in all that well to it because it doesn't really like have you all that invested in it. And now I will say something about this is I was more so expecting this to just be like another like one of those slice of life where they just kind of keep like adding to the group essentially, but it wasn't really like that. It was just the main three characters that it revolved around, and I did actually like that.
Yeah, it meant that we could develop the main three characters more.
Yeah.
Although in this first episode, we only get to see the two of them.
I actually kind of agree with you, Realm, based on, it is kind of bland at the start. There isn't anything really draws you in. And me trying to remember actually how I got into this and the reason why I actually like it is just solely because I probably was very bored at the start, and it's like, what's something that on my list I might want to actually like and would like to start? And I chose this one out at random, and probably the only reason why I probably stuck through it for like the first half is probably because, well, I was just bored out of my mind at that point.
So Vorn's not a quitter. I would have been if that was an option.
So in this episode, I guess the third member is introduced. It's Yugahama, and this is the episode where they bake cookies. Now, I'm gonna be real. I feel a personal kinship with Yugahama as another person who cannot cook to save their life.
And I feel a kinship with everyone who has to suffer through that as a person who can cook to save their life.
The difference being, Yugahama's friends, with air quotes, said it was okay, the food was okay, and they ate it begrudgingly. My friends say, "Oh my God, get away from the stove! You're going to kill us all," and force me out of the kitchen.
Well, here's the thing. When you start making hamburger soup, there is just no way to put it nicely.
Okay, it's not hamburger soup. It's a hamburger that became soup.
The distinction is not important
okay.
in this case.
Knickknacks, non-existent cooking skills aside. I mean, it's a standard first episode, I guess. It introduces some main characters. You see, like, kind of what the premise is. You get, like, an explanation of, like, what they're going to be doing, basically. But it's not particularly interesting. It doesn't really pull you in, and it doesn't really have a whole ton of, like, specialness to it. So it's not all that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Good.
Really.
Moving on.
Well, yeah, moving on to episode 2. I'm sure everyone bears a worry of equal weight. And this is where we're actually see a little bit of a joke right there in his biology report. Does anyone want to say what that is? Or are we just going to let them try and figure that out?
I think we can let him figure that out.
I remember, but it's been so long, I don't remember the exact details. All I remember is I love that he starts so many of these episodes with some depressive take on the world that is kind of accurate, but also, Jesus Christ, man, go outside every once in a while.
Like, what are you doing? Channeling Edgar Allan Poe's spirit?
Probably.
I don't need to hear that.
Probably.
Don't you like him?
Yeah, but he's harshing my mood. Like, I love Edgar Allan Poe, don't get me wrong, but there's only so many times I can hear about someone being literally buried inside of a wall alive and then dug out as a skeleton without getting depressed.
Like, the point is, he's right, he's being edgy and he's right, but it's kind of pointless that he's doing it. Like, there's no reason for him to do this.
Exactly.
Which is why one of my favorite characters is his freaking language teacher, whose big solution to... What was this episode specifically about again, Hor? It's been a bit.
The light novel.
Yeah,
reviewing
it's
the light
well,
novel.
not the light novel. It's more a web novel written by his.
Let's continue.
Yeah, episode 3. Sometimes the gods of romance calm smiles upon you.
Did you say rom-coms?
But
I
sometimes
said it wrong. It's
Yeah.
rom-coms. There.
romantic comedies.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Everybody's tired. I'm sure.
I'm not tired.
This is the tennis episode. Yes!
Yes.
This is the episode that references Prince of Tennis. Tennis no Oji-sama.
Yes,
Does it really?
that's the
Yeah, it
episode that
does.
You see
So,
the trap.
the trap is known as colloquial as the Prince to the girls at the school, and it's a direct reference to my favorite anime, The Prince of Tennis.
So this is the one. So this is the one credit you can give the show for referencing your favorite anime of all
Yes,
time.
I appreciate it.
She don't like slice of life, but she loves sports.
Sports anime is different, and I will give you that lecture with flames in my eyes later.
You give it with flames in your eyes.
I do.
Like how Fujoshi's lecture you about.
Not even. Have you ever seen Might Guy lecturing about the power of youth? That's how I talk about sports anime.
All right then.
If for those who can't actually see right now, in our eyes right now are like the mushroom clouds from nuclear detonation. That is right now what is in our eyes. Dang. Well, then,
this is the
let's
episode that
review.
introduces the best character.
The trap.
T.H.E.
Yes.
Okay, this is the episode I would recommend to anyone who asks. Just because I legitimately, with Realm Shifter, when we were watching it, I spent 10 minutes trying to convince him that the trap was a girl because I thought the trap was a girl. Because it was, I thought he was a girl. He looked like a girl. He sounded like a girl. His name is Saika Totsuka.
But they
He sounds like a girl.
And
they like point out that he's a guy like every few minutes.
I know,
Yeah,
and I missed it.
And the one key thing that you said that almost convinced me, but then was confirmed by the show, was that the eyelash design was the same as the other girls in the.
That's a pretty good indicator.
Well, see, but when they drop lines like, if he weren't a guy, I almost would have confessed and gotten rejected there all the time.
Yeah. You and you're paying attention to the subtitles.
And he's in the later episode. He says something about he thinks he might go down this ending,
Which ain't a great ending. You guys say no.
Okay, but I will admit, this episode is very Prince of Tennis-esque with like the injury and the domination when another player steps in.
I love that the plot point of him enjoying the breeze at a very specific time of day comes into how they win.
I know.
Yeah. Do we actually
Great.
want to talk about like the competition that actually started up between the popular kids and then, well, those two? Yeah, the Ice Queen and, well, him. So, what are you guys' thought on the competition that you actually saw right there between those two groups?
I don't know. At this point in the series, the difference between the groups didn't feel so well defined yet. I think the Ice Queen and then the main heroine, like, their little, like,
Ice Queen
hatred towards each other?
The Ice Queen and the main heroine are the same ones, though. That's the thing.
Sorry. I'm mixing them up there. The Ice Queen is the main heroine.
Yes.
Duh. No, I meant the main heroine and the popular girl.
Yeah.
Duh.
Which you actually start to see
Mean Girls.
activate a little bit, well, weird stuff that you wouldn't want. Well, let's get on to episode 4 anyway. Basically, he has few friends.
He has no friends by his
Story
standards.
of our lives.
He has no friends by his standards.
And we actually start to see a little bit of the past that happened with the car crash that put him in the hospital for a week.
This episode made me actually like the main character a little bit more. He saved a puppy, okay?
A very cute puppy.
Yes, that puppy is my favorite character.
And he appears more than once throughout the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Must protect that puppy.
Yes.
Suckmit, your thoughts?
I mean, I personally feel that he would be a great house husband.
The puppy?
No.
Blonde and like the complete opposite of
Yeah.
Hachiman.
We've already seen Blonde and
Hayama?
Popular
That's
Hayato.
Ayama.
Hayama Hayato.
Yeah. But this is the episode where like he approaches them, right?
Yeah, because, well, we actually haven't explained this exactly, though. They're in a club which actually is supposed to help people. It's called Sir's Club, blah-de-blah, kind of normal kind of stuff that you'll see in regular other anime.
Oh, is it the next episode that we meet Hikigai's little sister?
Yes.
No, we already seen
Oh.
her sister in
Oh yeah, because
Her sister.
she's
Yeah.
the one who talks about him getting hit by the car in this episode, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the situation that was presented to the club this episode is, well, there is a chain mail. Yeah, it's chain mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
chain
yeah,
mail.
I remember this. This was
About-
kind of a weird episode.
I gotta be honest, I
Yeah.
didn't actually quite understand what was going on in this episode.
Well, it's a chain mail that's being issued by somebody supposed
Yeah,
to be
spreading
in the,
bad rumors about Hayato's clique.
Yeah, the popular group.
Yeah, and
All
he wants
guys.
them to like stop the text from circulating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now how they figure out the best way to stop it is, well, remove the ikemen
Yeah.
from the cliche, and the
Because
cliche will
whoever's
break up.
spreading it is from his group of 4 people. So
Mhm.
one of them is spreading it, and he doesn't know who it is, but he wants them gone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and then their solution was to separate them from the group so that they either stop talking to each other or bond without him there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a little bit clearer now. I don't know, this episode was kind of confusing.
It is a little bit
It
more...
was.
Yeah, you do have to watch this one a little bit more in depth because of just how it is talking about dynamics, and if you don't get it first try, you will just have to watch it again, unfortunately, if you just don't. So, episode 5, and again, he returns from whence he came.
Is this the episode where he becomes a complete a-hole?
It was either that or episode 6.
No, he's not being a-hole in this one. This is
he is an a-hole in all of them.
But this one specifically, he was an a-hole to
Yui Gahana.
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah. It was either that or episode 6.
No, this one was the one where his sister's friend comes to actually give a request. Yeah. Tell his big sister, which is in his class as well.
And they find her at the place.
Yeah,
this is where the I forgot about that aspect because this is the episode where at the very end they start going into the Yugahama subplot.
Yeah, because at the end he has that monologue that explains why he'll always reject girls just in case.
Yeah. And he's like, you don't have to be nice to me just because you feel you have to because I saved your puppy.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's complete.
And also ended up in the hospital for a week. But
by the way, Yugahama was the owner of the puppy he saved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although he didn't know, only the sister knew.
And then at the end of the episode, he figures it out by the end of the episode, and he's a complete jerk about it.
Yeah, and also we actually get to see him confessing and getting shot down, which is one of the reasons why he is just this cynical at this point. Actually, in this episode, I would like to say we do see something that actually does happen between the sister classmate and the service club, and it's in the bar, and we do see them actually saying that she's trying to save money up for her summer school, or is it?
No, it's college.
No, she's
for
saving
her college. Yeah, for her college, and because she doesn't want to inconvenience her family, and her brother is saying, "Please do inconvenience us," because he actually loves her as well as and if familial love, we ain't going into the other realm right now.
It's not that kind of show.
It's not that kind of show, and we can appreciate the show for not going to that line.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank gosh.
Congratulations, you didn't make something creepy.
Yeah.
All right. What was
Do we have anything else to say about this episode at all?
Not really. Outside of
No.
ending, the episode was kind of forgettable in my opinion.
Yeah.
Most of the characters don't play into anything else.
Yeah.
Outside the little sister.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and also we get to see also a little bit of the past and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But episode 6, finally, his and her beginnings have finally ended.
This picks off of after Kikigaya was just a complete jerk to Yui Gahana, saying that whole "you don't have to be nice to me just because I saved your puppy" type deal.
Yeah.
Basically, this episode kind of picks up after that whole incident.
Yeah, and this kind of could have been if it wasn't probably for timing, I probably would say this itself could have just been the first half and the last half of the last episode could have just been its own episode.
Yeah.
And it's right.
It's kind of weird because this is actually where the plot kind of starts to kick in a little.
Yeah, because
I'd say less the plot and more so the characters actually developing more of a relationship with each other.
Yeah, the actual story.
Used to
The big sister
Yeah.
of the
Yukino?
Yukino.
Yukino, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I kind of hate her.
Just remember.
What part do you hate about her? The transparency or the laugh out loudness?
We'll get to it later. I didn't hate her at first, But especially during the cultural episode arc, or the cultural festival arc, I kind of hate her throughout that arc. In some parts before, she feels... Ugh.
All right, well, we'll get there when we get
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually pretty sure that they make up in this episode, don't they?
there. Yes, they do actually. Like towards
Yeah.
the end of it, roughly.
Yeah, this is kind of the end of that entire short-lived arc, but
Oh, this was also the part where what was it? Hikigaya and Yukidon, they both went to the mall shopping for Yuki Gahana's birthday present. But we use birthday present kind of in air quotes because we don't know if it was actually ever her birthday.
I love the end of the episode where he gives her the dog collar because that's like what he
Yeah.
associates Yukihana with, and she like puts on like, "Oh, this is nice. That's for your dog." I hate you. Like it's very clear. Like that's not
Yeah.
him being an a-hole there. That's just like he actually got something that he associated with her for her dog, and she. I actually love that interaction.
Yes, the misunderstanding. This whole entire show is pretty much just misunderstanding after misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Although this is more subtle. Well, like, there are some which actually do show it much, much more.
I did actually get a lot of the more subtle misunderstandings, and they're really funny.
Seki, are you okay? You haven't talked much since that fly.
Yeah.
During the middle of the series and the end, and I struggled. Like, it was hard. I didn't like the episodes. I didn't really like the content. The new characters introduced, I wasn't a fan of.
See,
This show seems to have hit you harder than Data Live did.
Yeah.
I don't know, okay, but because there's a difference. Like, Data Live was trash. Like, it was objectively not good. It was terrible, but it was like,
And yet
It was-
managed to get 3 seasons.
it was
in a movie.
hilarious because it was like
Movie.
so terrible, but in like a comedic, like harem way. And this is just,
bland.
yeah.
Boring.
I mean, like I know that they're trying to add in comedy, but I'm not really seeing it as
That's the
comedy.
problem. If you're not, you have to be paying close attention to the
Yeah.
dialogue to get any enjoyment out of this season. Because for Slice of Life, it is very generic,
Yeah,
and I think that comes to the show's detriment.
and
Because the problem is the dialogue is actually rather witty when you look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially, but you have to look at it, and this is why I like this series, because it's just so subtle.
and I
It
think
does
that
require
this
multiple watches.
I think that this would have, like, for me personally, this would have worked better if I'd read the novel,
Yeah.
because I get more out of reading than I do out of watching stuff. So personally,
Actually,
and
would you like the
actually-
novel? I do have one.
And
maybe I'll consider it, but not at the moment. I hit a slump, so I don't have a whole ton to say about the second half of the series because it was just hard to get through for me. And that's my personal opinion. And I have a very different taste in anime than any of the three of you.
oh yeah,
And like we're very well aware of that.
it shows.
Yeah,
Oh,
so like
yeah.
there's a few things I liked that I'll comment on, but just in general, I don't have a lot to say about it.
All right, so if you do have something to say, then speak up. But otherwise,
Episode 7. Regardless, I'm
that person,
getting
that
a
personal
break
attack,
over
though.
summer break is wrong. Which we actually,
Was this the
Well-
beginning of the summer camp arc?
Yes.
Yeah.
this is the summer camp.
The summer camp arc
Yeah.
was my favorite arc in the series. I'm going to be real.
It's actually my second. My
Hmm.
first is actually the last episode with the presidential candidates. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I love this arc because out of all of the arcs, this is the arc that I got like. Okay, first off, this entire arc had a Mother JoJo reference.
Which I think I saw it, but I don't quite remember it.
I have it here, and I'm going to quote it here.
Please.
Just like stand users are drawn to one another, lonely people have a knack for finding other lonely people.
Yes.
Okay, but besides from the fact that they made a JoJo reference, which is like the baseline for any quality show, let's be real.
Lies.
Let's talk about the side character that we actually meet for this arc. The
Rumi?
little, Rumi, like the
Yeah.
little young.
Mini Yukino.
Oh, her. I do like Rumi. She's one of the characters I did like, just because she's so small and cynical.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit, like, I was probably falling into the exact same camp as Seki up till around this point in the series, where the series was definitely boring me, and I was only paying so much attention to the subtitles because my screen, I watch on my phone most of the time, so my screen is small.
Yeah.
Like, even the opposing clique, the social group.
Yes, the popular group.
Yeah, like you saw them particularly like contrasting the service club.
Yeah.
And I really did like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway.
And then was it this episode or was it the next episode where we saw basically Yukino get taken away by her older sister because of something?
That's actually a while from now.
That's actually
okay.
after
Yeah.
that's at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's go episode 8, which is the continuation of this arc. One day they shall learn the truth. And in this, we actually see the resolution of the...
Oh, wait, was it this episode or the last episode with the fan service arc? Or the fan service like section?
Yes, this is beach episode, kind of.
Okay, it had my favorite entire line in the series.
Yeah.
Well, I guess... So the end. So the way this arc concludes with
the test of courage.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I like tests of courage because they're hilarious.
Yeah, we're the popular group and like
of the elementary schoolers, just to like actually that's a little bit later in the episode, but like basically the popular group and the service club kind of want to fix the dilemma between like the little kids, like how they're excluding
Rumi.
Rumi from there by staging something to get them to bond together.
They don't just stage something; they physically threaten the little kids. It is very like, I won't be honest here. If those little kids were to tell their parents what happened, I'm pretty sure they'd all be arrested.
Oh yeah.
I
like,
mean, but this is anime. That's not going to happen.
Right. And also, I liked it like that the teacher said, no, you're not only watching our kids. You're supposed to goddamn help them. Help them. Like that was forced on them.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, okay, if this weren't an anime, they'd all be arrested.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I love that when Mei got Hachiman into the car, they basically kidnapped him to this summer camp.
Yeah. The sister pulled the trick and said, "Hey, let's go to this place." They went, no.
Well, I guess the ending of this episode, when you find out, big dramatic plot twist, the car that hit Hachiman was Yukino's car.
Which was hilarious.
Well, yeah. Actually, we haven't talked how they actually ended up solving it. They actually made like everybody turn against each other, or did we?
We touched on it. We talked about how they basically physically threatened them, but we didn't say what the kids' reactions were.
Yeah, the kids' reactions were
because in the end, it didn't really go anywhere because Rumi just made them all run away, and then nothing was ever really solved.
Okay, but like. These are little kids. If it was realistic, I'd like it less than I already do.
Yeah.
Like, I need some level of disbelievability in anime. If
I don't
it's
know.
just
I
like
would have loved an
normal.
arc in which they're all thrown to prison.
Oh my.
They're away location from everybody else, and you can see them being awkward, and they're not talking to each other, and you know for sure if you do read into it that the group has just broken up at that point, and like. We probably will assume that she won't be bullied anymore. That
she won't.
The dynamic has been destroyed completely.
The dynamic between all four or five of them has just been ruined, and now she can restart afresh.
Yeah, and at the end of the episode, now let's actually go back to where you guys were talking. We actually learned
Hachiman got hit by the car.
Yeah, and we also learned a little bit of the background of
Yukino.
Yeah, Yukino's family of her father.
Let's go on to 9. This is kind of taking a while.
Yeah. Well, episode 9, and yet again he returns from whence he came. This one we actually really start to see the downer.
This is the date episode between Yugihama and Hachiman, right?
Yes, festival.
Oh gosh, festivals from here on out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
lots of festivals.
Yeah, so, it's going into the festival.
Yeah, where where Realm's waifu is
Yes.
actually going along with the
with the main
character.
main protagonist.
Yeah, after the sister, well, little
The
sister.
little sister
Yeah.
basically realizes that her brother won't take the hint that she wants to go with him and not in a group or whatever. So she basically forces herself out by saying that she's got to study for entrance exams.
Yep.
Which
So, in real life, that is actually a real thing you want to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like in
Especially in Japan or in pretty much any of the Asian country.
any Asian country. But
It's a very big deal.
But that's like a minor point according to the story. So we'll just put that aside for
Yeah.
Anyways, so
They're anime characters. They're all guaranteed to either get into the worst or the best university in the country.
Yes.
Nowhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, okay, that's another point that comes up later on, throughout the last few episodes of this show, that they're just all they all do their dang homework, everything, they just get it all done within a timely manner, roughly.
And they're actually all surprisingly good students.
I know, it's so amazing. I don't understand.
Here's the thing, they're supposed to be all hardworking students. The service club members that we see, their member classmates and everybody else, we don't know. Maybe the older sister, we don't know.
But this also conflicts with Hikagaya's own personal philosophy of to work is to be a loser.
Well, he
Yeah.
says that he actually doesn't ever show off that he doesn't he doesn't do much work.
Well,
No, he's turning in work. A lot of the time it comes out being, there's no point to life. Why am I even bothering with social
I think
cliques?
most of the reason why he's avoiding not doing that is because he doesn't want to be gut punched.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just his cynicism takes more of a on the whole as a world and universe and less of a specific direct homework or something.
Yeah.
Because you have to you could be cynical about homework without being cynical about the world, but he's cynical about the world.
But he's not cynical about homework.
I mean, he's the one who brings up college scholarships. He's very clearly trying to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to study cynicism and philosophy.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll
Honestly, I could see that.
Yes, I could honestly. But that's another topic, and I guess we'll get back to the main episode, which is the festival episode.
Yeah.
It was a festival episode.
Yeah.
Now that we've said festival 14 times, I think we need to move on.
Are you actually? Well,
No,
First off,
we're
we
still
need to-
on the episode.
Well, no, we
I know.
only talked about the first half. We have talked about the second half.
the second half where they see the big sister.
Yeah, and we learned a little bit more about Yukino and what she and how she kind of wanted to be like her big sister when she was growing up and whatnot. Some of her motivations and some little funny points about how about how the sister jokes about Yukino and Hikigaya dating apparently, but they're not and whatnot.
Okay, my favorite thing about this entire situation is the big sister as they're walking away from the episode or from the festival. They 15th time. They see the card. She turns and she's basically like, "Yeah, we know we hit you.
We know we hit you. Sorry about that.
It wasn't Yukino's fault. Don't hold that against her." He's like, "I won't. Proceed to next episode. They're not talking."
I mean, I wouldn't talk to you if you hit me with the Millennial Falcon.
That's my other time.
Anyway, so we wrap up this episode. Ends with essentially Yui Gohana almost confessing, and then Hikigaya tells her to answer her cell phone, basically cutting off the conversation.
Yeah, because convenient cell phone ring became a big giant cock block.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it was more so a cock block for Yui Gohana and less so for Hikigaya. So
because
that's
he's
something.
dense as a brick.
Well, I think he kind of realized it, sort of, maybe. I don't know.
No, here's the thing. His outlook is he really doesn't want to actually go into a full relationship anymore. He might have realized it, but he just kind of
Exactly.
denied it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I don't want this to go anywhere, so please answer your cell phone. But we don't give any. However, maybe he wasn't, because usually when things like that happen, we get some inner monologue from Hikigaya explaining his thought process for why he does something.
Well,
Yeah.
do we want to move on into the obligatory cultural festival arc?
Oh wait, I totally forgot. We totally forgot about the list that the little sister sent, and then that was a priceless moment.
Oh, that little thing like the beginning of the episode, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, they were in the
Memories.
festival. 16 times.
Memories. Made.
Memories made at the festival. Priceless.
That was
Well,
the funny part.
Despite the fact that Seki wanted us to move away from saying festival over and over again, we're moving on to another festival.
18
I'm
times.
straight up gonna
In
keep
counting.
a festival count.
20.
I don't know how many times we said festival, but let's
21.
go. Shall we remain as distant as we were? The festival shall encircle us.
22.
The episode 10. Yeah. We now do cultural festival.
23.
Okay, I can finally get into my rant here.
Yeah.
Okay, Sagami, I believe her name was, is she's the female representative who becomes like the leader of this festival.
Yes.
I hate
side
her.
character.
I hate
more.
her as well. We can
But-
we can both have her hate boners together.
The one I hate more is the sister of Yukino. Because in this arc, she was very clearly manipulating Sagami away from having any leadership role and purposely manipulating it so Yukino was given most of the work. Like, she was like, earlier in the episode, there was like a comment by the older sister who was like, hey, it's great that you're you're working at classes more. It's like, we should do it. Yeah, you should do it. And then it all ends up with Yukino, and
Yeah.
I hate the older sister.
So it's just a classic case of every school project I've ever done, where it's just, I'm doing all of the work.
Yeah.
And everyone else is benefiting off of it. Which, works for me, because, other people are stupid.
Well, I think it's in the same episode where Hachiman, or it's in the, sorry, a lot of these next three episodes kind of blend together for me.
Well, they do blend together. 'cause
Yeah.
they're all
So why don't
essentially
we just
the same
say
thing.
episode 10 through 12? We just say it's just
10 through
Yeah.
10 through 12 is the whole same.
It's the longest arc in the series, so.
Yeah.
And then 13 is it's sort of its own thing.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's
kind of.
weird. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
Hachiman with his I actually did like Hachiman's solution to this, where even though he's not necessarily being overworked any more than anyone else, he starts complaining that he's being given all the work even though he's not, knowing that everyone's reaction is going to be, we're not forcing all our work on you, we're going to work harder now.
I really liked how he said a certain quote. I don't know if you actually have it, Nick, back. You probably don't.
I don't, not this time.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
was it like where he was recommending the name for the school festival?
No. It wasn't that. Let me see. It might be in the Wikipedia. Oh yes, he's complimenting on the slogan that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, the president actually put, where it's if you actually know what Japanese kanji actually looks like, it's the person doing more work than the other. It's yeah.
And he
I
uses
love that.
And he
Ours
uses this
being
whole
lazy.
analogy to basically say, too much work is being shoved on me. Someone please take more of my work. And we're like, no, we're not. And then Nick Knock put it best. Just we're not doing that. We're gonna work harder. And
Yeah,
it
no,
works.
everyone wants
sort
to just prove him wrong at that point.
Yes.
Really, really just want to prove him wrong.
And I love that Yukino's reaction. She realizes what he's doing, and she just breaks down into a fit of laughter behind her paper, internally you guys,
Yeah.
you people.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
comes up and says, rejected.
Objection.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. This is really, really funny. Anyway, but that was in episode 11.
That was episode
If you
11.
guys want to know. Because, episode 10, it's more just they're setting stuff up.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
the sister stuff happens, and all of the characters are being introduced, like Sagami.
Yeah, episode 11, 12 is where the real meat of it is, not
Gosh,
the appetizer.
I've got a bone to pick with towards the ending of episode 12.
Uh-huh.
Towards the ending of episode 12, they hit that trope I see all the time in anime, and I hate it. where this high school has the funding and the skill level of the students to throw on an idol concert.
Yes. Okay.
But back on topic, they've got like the funding to do this entire thing. I'm like, where did you get that from? I don't think a high school in the world has that kind of funding.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You know what has that? You know what has that funding? The high school from Hanayori Dango.
No, every single private school.
So
Yeah. We actually, during episode 11, during like the mid/end, we see like the elected president of the festival committee actually break.
she
on
has a
stage.
complete mental breakdown
Yeah,
in
and
the
then
middle of the
runs
festival.
away. And
Yeah.
episode 12 is the
And,
continuation
you know,
where
I hate
Hachimon
I
finds.
hate to be that person, but maybe if she hadn't been such a slacker last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Same thing. It also goes back to the big sister,
Like-
who's the
like
one who
as
like
much-
convinced
I
her
know.
it was a
Like,
good idea.
Yeah.
you
Well,
can't,
maybe she shouldn't have been taken in by the big sister.
Yeah,
you can't really like get mad at even Hachiman for going off on her
Because he was right.
because he was
Yeah.
completely right about it.
Plus, and I just realized I had a comment I meant to make to your comment, and then you two talked over me when I said also. Don't you know that every person in Japan is either amazing at singing or totally terrible, so they're totally capable of putting on idol competitions? It's like a rule. Haven't you noticed? Every single person in anime is great at singing.
By the way, sorry if you guys hear a dog in the background.
That
There is a dog in the
Bugsy.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Bugsy.
is. So let's go on to episode 12, like at least the start, because well, episode 11 left you off at the point where Hachiman found the girl. Yeah. So let's get on to this thing.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on this argument that they had?
Just he railed on her, and it was well deserved.
Yeah, especially since she was definitely trying to one up like the Ice
Well-
Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, she got what she deserved.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she failed at it like freaking like a I can't say the word, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sagami in this arc is a very hateable character, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we see her anymore after this.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the next episode, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, we actually see the Ike man go up and, well, protect her in quotation marks, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like he physically like grabs Hachiman, slams him against a wall, and is like, "Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why is this your answer to everything?"
Although, like, in the subtle tone, he's actually saying, why would you do this to yourself? He actually feels sympathy and a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's
pity.
not like anger at him for doing that to her, because I think he agrees
It's-
with Hachiman.
It's anger towards Hachiman's way of going about things.
Because he knows Hachiman is just like nuking his own like social credit.
Which, well, he doesn't care because I think he believes in.
Well, that's for
Yeah.
another time.
Yeah, let's actually talk about like the end of this episode where he is quite literally how fast the news spread is quite astonishing because like it is just the closing speech and then everybody just goes and hates him. Like, what the heck is going on there? Do they actually have like just all their phones out constantly now at this point?
I mean, yes.
Probably. Yeah.
I will say I like this ending if it wasn't like immediately like completely pointless by the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also do get to see the girls show sympathy for him and say,
Yeah.
please don't do this anymore.
Well, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
understand the girls doing that, but like all the other characters by the next episode are like, yeah, we're chill now.
Yeah.
I guess is that a transition to episode 13?
Well,
Yeah,
here's the
pretty
thing, though.
much.
This is also the reason why I don't like first episode, because everything that you see kind of doesn't translate. But it does translate much more in, like, season 1 stuff, translate much more in season 2. You start seeing a little bit more of it, and that's the reason why I probably will suggest it in here. But season 13!
Episode 13.
You
Oh
mean-
my
you
god,
mean
I
episode
hated this
13.
episode.
Ah,
Sports!
Yes, sports festival.
Okay, I love the
Yeah.
individual sports. 'Cause I love, we
Also,
didn't talk about her, but there's a
we,
Fujoshi in this episode.
Yes.
Who was in the
Okay,
series.
we mentioned her off her a little bit, but there's one character we never brought up because he's such a minor character. Like the ultra otaku weeb.
No, we brought him up. Remember?
No,
he was
we
in
did.
Shirogyo?
Oh yeah.
That was.
I didn't remember him
Yeah.
because
That was like an hour ago now,
honestly,
but-
for me, he's like probably my least liked side character.
Yeah.
Not because of his like personality, but just because he's like so uninteresting and
Well,
unimportant.
they do almost nothing with him.
Exactly.
But I do like how things lead into it. Like, and this, I do like the individual sports they come up with and how they go with their two characters. The Chunibyo like has them playing a horse. And the thing is, they're dressed up in armor, and here's why I like it so much. That armor is very clearly inspired by Saber's armor from Fate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even one of the characters mentions or one of them like, shouldn't this be more like Japanese inspired? And they're just like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well,
And
they
then-
do have some historical stuff in there that we kind of don't see.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, but we don't see it, and that's the point.
And then the Fujoshi, like, I forget the sport is called, but it's an actual Japanese sport where they're trying to knock over the other team's pole. while
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
like all
pole
these
game.
men gathered around holding up a pole.
They're like, that's surprisingly normal. And then, yes, that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked his strategy of
But
how he won.
Men
This
and their
episode is
sticks.
so inserted and so fillery when it wasn't originally fillery from what I can tell. Like, I actually went and looked up this episode because it felt so out of place. Sagami's character arc is actually concluded in this arc in the actual light novel from what I can tell.
Yeah. They didn't do that well.
And they,
They didn't even mention her in
Moving
this
it
episode.
over.
No, I think
Yeah.
about it.
and
Yeah.
like, one of the characters who very clearly hated him in the last episode immediately goes to them in this episode.
Yeah.
This episode like does not fit with what I'm pretty
It-
sure is the arc of
It's
Hajime.
clear that they cut out some very key details from the light
Yeah.
novel to make like the time budget for this.
This is the only time I've
series.
ever seen this done, but this is a very egregious version of it.
Well, and this
Yeah.
kind of brings in like obviously there have been quite a few changes from the novel to the anime.
Yes.
Like a decent amount.
'Cause-
And this episode to me just seemed like
It was filler at its worst. But
Yeah.
it was like adapting an actual arc into filler.
which is
Yeah.
not something you should ever do, you know.
No.
Given that normally you only put filler
Like,
in, you
I'd
don't
rather
have
I'd rather them extend this season by an extra episode, just so that way they could cover what they couldn't cover within the last episode.
Well, because
Yeah.
filler is meant to be when you don't have content.
right,
They
Yeah.
had
but
content.
this is filler within the main arc of the light novel
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Which does really.
It wasn't
want to
great.
say, do read the light novel.
I enjoyed
rather
some of the
than
jokes,
this.
but plot wise, this almost like I watched like the first 10 seconds of the next episode. Plot wise, this feels absolutely non-canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which kind of pretty much is. But that strategy, that was amazing. Yeah.
All right, well, is that it for
well,
us?
Yeah, that's pretty much-
that's
Any,
pretty much it for it. Well, I'll finish off with saying, because we didn't say this at the end, they ended up losing the tournament because of a little cheap trick that Hachiman tried to pull with putting a white bandana, disguise him as one of the white team people instead of a red person. So yeah,
Cheaters never win, guys. The moral of the story here.
Yeah.
they ended
Or-
up losing due to a foul.
Or
those,
he's
like,
just not a
the-
good cheater.
All right, guys.
That's
Well,
time out.
do we want to get into our closing thoughts and what you guys
Yeah.
rate this?
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with Vorn this time and go clockwise, where we're sitting here, because you can't see.
Well, yeah. For me, this is the one that I liked just because, well, CLD and, well, you guys probably already heard about it all throughout. And we did actually see some character development and other stuff. This is actually not my go-to season, unfortunately, though. But definitely is still a very nice one on how I feel. So I rated about, it's not exactly 9, but it's very close. So I'll rate it about an 8.8 or an 8.9 out of 10.
All right, Seki, we know you have the colorful rating.
4 dead flies out of 15. I see it.
Leave the fly until we're done with the recording. You need to
Yeah.
do that
Okay.
here in a moment.
All right.
I know
I
the
mean-
series. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Go ahead.
Now that I'm not focusing on the fly, even though I still know where he is, like I said, it's not something I would recommend to anyone. I mean, I could see that, like, maybe if later seasons get better, but the point of this wasn't to watch later seasons. It was just the first 13 episodes. And it's not a great 13 episodes. Like, it could have used a lot of work. And you shouldn't turn canon into filler. Like, that's literally why you have filler, is when you don't have the canon. They had the canon, use it.
And it ends on, like, they could have ended it on the 12th episode, which is a normal core.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, for you, unfortunate.
I guess my closing thoughts are, the series is okay. It's like, the writing is really well done, for the most part, up till that 13th episode. But the actual, like, storyline itself doesn't do anything to, like, it's trying to be subversive with its writing, but it's not subverting anything. It's just being a lot more, it's just being edgy and knowing it's edgy in its writing. I didn't hate it, but I also, because the storyline was so bland and so generic, I didn't love it. So, but the thing is, I'm not going to give this a rating because there's no point to it. And there's no point to life. There's no point to rating this. Why would I ever give this a rating? No one's going to care. Realm, your turn.
I'm honestly just going to say, go watch Konosuba if you want a better comedy. That's all I'm going to say. This one's fine, but it's not great. Just go watch Konosuba, please.
Yeah,
if you
this
haven't
isn't
already.
real comedy at all, almost.
It's literally titled My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU.
It's not even a rom-com that much.
Yeah.
The romance is barely even a
The thing
subplot.
is, given the title, there are certain things you expect out of it, and you don't get those things. So it's very misleading.
Yes.
And on that note...
You want to draw from the hat here?
Realm,
Yes.
bring in the wheel!
Bring in the wheel! Wheel!
No, stop. Don't.
The non-existent wheel that just caused Realm to flop on the floor. We will now pull from the hat. Hopefully Nick Nack gets a name. He hasn't
I know, I
yet.
have not gotten mine picked yet.
And...
Woo, come on!
I think you just got yours picked. Katsuki no Yona.
Yeah.
Episodes 1 through 12.
Oh,
All right, finally. One to
Yeah, heads up.
At least
Just
one.
because this is an easy one, you guys can find this on, I believe, Hulu, Crunchyroll, or you can even find Funimation actually put this one up on YouTube.
Yeah, it is on YouTube.
So
yeah,
those are like, this is actually a really easy one to watch.
okay.
Austin.
Well,
Anyways, so on that note, this has been the Anime Club. And remember, try harder, everyone.